Hello everyone, today I am going to tell you the treatment of septic shock. Whenever patient is coming in the septic shock, first treatment will be same as for the hypovolemic and cardiogenic shock. We have to maintain the ABCD, airway, breathing, circulation and the D for dextrose. And in this case, for airway breathing, maintain the oxygenation ventilation by giving the high flow oxygen preferably by non-rebreathing mask, and if the newborn, then we can give either free flow oxygen, or if patient is not maintaining, then on CPAP or ventilator. And we have to maintain the blood sugar in more than 1 month age group, more than 60 should be maintained. So if the blood sugar is less than 60 mg per dl, then give the state dose of 10% dextrose 5 ml per kg. And also position of the patient should be either supine position, or we can keep the patient in Trendelenburg position, 30-degree leg elevation. And after doing ABCD, give the broad spectrum antibiotic also within 1 hour of admission, which will cover the gram positive and gram negative both. And after doing ABCD and giving the state dose of antibiotic, give the fluid therapy. In fluid therapy for the septic shock, we have to give the 15 to 20 ml per kg over a period of 15 minutes, and choice of fluid will be either 0.9% normal saline, crystalloid or Ringal lactate. We prefer the Ringal lactate in malnourished baby, otherwise we prefer the 0.9% normal saline. It is the fluid of choice. In some of the condition, we can prefer the colloid. We can give the FFP or albumin, or we can give the other colloids also. But it is costly and it is tough to prepare, and it will take the times. So always when your patient is coming, give the fluid bolus by the crystalloids, RL or NS. And maximum we can give up to 40 ml per kg, not more than this. If still patient is not improving according to the BP and according to the periphery. So if the patient is having normal blood pressure with the cool periphery, in this case we can start the dopamine 5 to 20 microgram per kilogram per minute dose. And the trick for the dopamine is weight into 0.36, as the concentration of dopamine is 40 mg per ml, and this trick is for 24 hours infusion and for the dose of 10 microgram per kilogram per minute. So if you are willing to start 10 microgram per kilogram dopamine for the 10 kg weight baby, then you have to multiply the 10 with 0.36. So the dose will become 3.6 for the 24 hours infusion. And this will be diluted in 50 ml normal saline, then it should be divided with 24, then the per hour rate should be set. If the patient is having hypotensive shock, BP is falling, then check the periphery. Hypotension with the cool periphery, we will label as a cold shock. In this case, we will start the epinephrine. Epinephrine or adrenaline is the drug of the choice for cold shock. You can easily remember by the trick AC. A for adrenaline, C for the cold. And this is the drug of the choice. And dose will be 0.05 to 3 microgram per kilogram per minute infusion. And for 1 microgram per kilogram, trick is weight into 1.5 ml for 24 hours infusion. Okay. If patient is not responding with the adrenaline, in this case we can add the noradrenaline. And also we have to remember, whenever patient requiring inodrops, hemoglobin should be maintained more than 10 gram per dl. So if the patient is having less than 10 gram per dl and inodrops, we are adding the Paxil volume also to maintain the hemoglobin more than 10. And also we have to monitor by keeping the central line. SCVO2 should be maintained, and this is central venous oxygen saturation. This should be maintained more than 70% whenever patient is requiring inodrops. So after adrenaline, check the hemoglobin, check the SCVO2 also, and if patient is not responding with the maximum dose of the adrenaline, then we can add the noradrenaline. Dose for the noradrenaline is 0.05 to 1.5 microgram per kilogram per minute. And the trick for the noradrenaline is similar to the adrenaline because the concentration in ampule is 1 mg per ml. So trick will be remain same, weight into 1.5 ml for the 24 hours infusion. If patient is not responding, having the cool periphery and hypotension even with the adrenaline and noradrenaline, then in this case we can add the dobutamine. So to easily remember this algorithm for the cold shock is E and D. E for epinephrine, N for noradrenaline, D for dobutamine. So first we will add for hypotensive cold shock adrenaline, then noradrenaline, then dobutamine. If the patient is having warm shock, hypotension, BP is fall and having the warm periphery, it is seen in the early stage of septic shock. In this case, first drug of the choice is norepinephrine or noradrenaline. First we have to add the noradrenaline, which is vasoconstrictor, potent vasoconstrictor, little or no impact on the cardiac activity. So the dose will be same as I explained in the previous cold shock. You have to start the noradrenaline. If patient is not responding, then we can add the vasopressin, telepressin, and the dose of the telepressin is 0.2 to 2 milliunit per kg per minute infusion. And sometimes we can give the noradrenaline plus vasopressin as a combination because vasopressin is also a vasoconstrictor. If patient is not responding to both noradrenaline and vasopressin, in this case we can add the adrenaline. Third, so here will be the algorithm for the warm shock will be noradrenaline first, then vasopressin, telepressin, if not responding, then epinephrine. So this will be sequence for this, and that you can easily remember by the trick NAVI, N-A for noradrenaline, V for vasopressin, E for the epinephrine. And still if patient is not responding to all these, then we can osimental, which is the calcium stabilizer. So this is about the septic shock. If not responding, even after giving all these drugs, we label as a catecholamine resistant shock. In this case, we have to give the state dose of hydrocortisone also because sometimes patient is having adrenal insufficiency. So hydrocortisone 2 to 5 mg per kg state dose should be given. If patient is responding to the state dose of hydrocortisone, then QID doses should be charted for next 2 days. Or in meter square, you can remember 100 mg per meter square is the state dose, and then if patient is responding, then 100 mg per meter square dose should be divided into QID doses and should be given for next 2 days. So this is the about the treatment of septic shock, and last resort for the refractory shock not responding to any drug is the ECMO. So thank you so much.